Since you want to resist, then die. Xiaobin said indifferently. He raised his sword and slashed towards Xianxia, the sword spreading out in all directions, with killing intent enveloping everyone. Xianxia retreated a few steps, dodging the terrifying sword chi, but the old man's movements were extremely powerful, like a flying immortal. He surrounded him tightly. The sword pierced through the heavens. The spirit chi around the ground was like a tornado. This sword is not bad, but what a pity. Xianxia's face revealed a smile. Xiaobin had already thrusted his sword at Xianxia. The sword chi was astonishing, but at the same time, it flashed with a green light. Ding! A crisp sound rang out. Xiaobin's good treasure sword actually broke. The cut was extremely smooth, and actually was sliced into two. A domineering green broadsword appeared in Xianxia's hands. The green dragon carvings on it were vivid and lifelike. The imposing manner was strong. This was the godly weapon used by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord to fight against the 9 Heavens and 10 Earth. The Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword. The Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword was a divine weapon used by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. So news of this had already spread far and wide. At this time, many people were gathered in the cities near the bloody Thunder Mountain Sea, preparing to attack the super-old sacred land, look for Xianxia, and snatch the divine blade. But now that divine blade had appeared in the hands of a middle-aged uncle, everyone quickly thought of one possibility, and that was that the middle-aged uncle in front of them was Xianxia. Duan Sanchong smiled. No wonder he felt that this middle-aged uncle was a little familiar. So it was Xianxia. You are Xianxia? Although Xiaobin had his sword broken, he was not angry at all. On the contrary, he was overjoyed. His old eyes were burning with greed, because he already had a chance to obtain the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword. As expected of a divine blade, a mortal sword is just like a blade of grass before this blade. A divine blade that can cut through metal like mud. Even immortal equipment can be easily cut apart. Isn't that group of deities from the mortal realm currently in super-old sacred land? But Xianxia ran over here. Looks like that group of people were deceived by Xianxia. Haha. I heard that a large group of old fellows were heavily injured, and some of them even lost their cultivation. Those immortals should have probably entered the super-old sacred land by now, so there's a chance that some of them might have perished. What a terrifying brat. He actually tricked a group of immortals. Xianxia wiped his face, revealing his original appearance, and sneered. I already said that I am not a senior figure, and now, a senior figure like you is bullying me. A junior, you truly do not know shame. I am only seeking justice for the head disciple of my flying immortal school. While Xiaobin was speaking, he would occasionally look at the divine blade that was surrounded by green chi, and the more he looked, the more attractive he would become, wishing that he could immediately take it away. Seeing the greed on Xiaobin's face, he immediately laughed. Old dog, I think you are trying to steal my divine blade, right? Humph, this kind of divine weapon cannot display its power in your hands. This level of divine weapon is used to slay demons and exterminate devils. My flying immortal school did a great job while slaying demons. You should just leave it to us. Xiaobin's words made everyone understand what was shameless. Bullshit. You guys ran furthest away from great war between 3 realms. Duan Sanchong sneered. If you want it, take it. Xianxia used his strength and threw the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword. The Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword brought a green light tail with it and flew far away. Seeing that, Xiaobin was startled. Then he flew up and chased after the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword. This scene made many people stunned. Many people could not believe that Xianxia had actually handed over the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword. Many people had the thought of flying out and snatching it, but they were all weaker than Xiaobin. Xianxia, you. Seeing the smile on Xianxia's face, Duan Sanchong did not ask further. Not long later, Xiaobin returned. He looked at Xianxia with anger. Where's the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword? Xianxia raised his hand, and a green light shot out from his hand. The Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword was actually still in his hand. Before, when I threw things out, he would always chase after me. When I saw you, I suddenly really missed my dog. Xianxia laughed, causing everyone to laugh. Qiubin was so angry that his face flushed red. He roared angrily and struck towards Xianxia with his palm. Like a giant axe splitting open the mountain, he slashed on Xianxia's shoulder, and the berserk innate chi that was unleashed caused the ground to crack and crack. But what was surprising was that after Xianxia was struck by that terrifying palm strike, he stood there like a statue, completely unharmed. Xianxia's large success of his immortal devil body had made his body like a celestial item, let alone the fact that he possessed a profound wood diamond armor. Humph! Xianxia waved the divine blade in his hand, and the dragon power became like a large river as it surged out and poured into the divine blade. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword immediately glowed with azure light. The saber chi was like a dragon, and the saber chi gushed out like the roar of 10,000 dragons. The momentum was so great that it caused people's hearts to tremble. The blade edge seemed to have a strange energy as it locked onto Qiubin. Even though he had flashed several meters away, Xianxia still followed him. As the blade cut down, one of Qiubin's arm was chopped off at the shoulder. It was crushed into powder under the strong pressure released by the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. Xianxia kicked towards Qiubin's chest, sending him flying. Then, he quickly followed suit and chopped down with his blade at an oblique angle, aiming for Qiubin's neck. Fresh blood flew everywhere. The head landed on the ground. Xianxia kept his divine blade and rushed to rough and random profound land's direction. He did not even turn his head back, leaving behind the rest of the people who were stunned. This is a senior-level expert, but he was actually chopped to death by Xianxia in 2 or 3 moves. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword is indeed powerful, but Xianxia is also very strong. Just now, Qiubin had heavily struck his palm, but he was not injured at all. He is going to the rough and random profound land. He has the divine weapon of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. He might be able to open the Emperor's tomb. He intentionally lured the experts of the ancient powers into the super-old sacred land. Then he came here and entered the rough and random profound land, all for the sake of preventing others from preventing him from entering the Emperor's tomb. What a clever move! Duan Sanchong originally wanted to remind Xianxia a few times, but once Xianxia ran away, he disappeared and he had to quickly hide himself as well. Xianxia entering the rough and random profound land was just an illusion. He had merely wandered around outside for a bit, and then returned to the Green Summit City, but this time he appeared as Li Runshan. The Green Summit City had elders from the Flying Immortal School, so there must be assets of the Flying Immortal School here. He and the Flying Immortal School had formed an alliance, and if he did not do it soon, he would make the Flying Immortal School suffer, and at the same time cause an even bigger commotion, and lure the immortals over to the rough and random profound land. There was also a medicine shop here. Xianxia asked around and found out that there was a very dark medicine shop here, where Destiny Boxes were also selling things here. The background of this medicine store was very big. It was said to be related to the Flying Immortal School. Ling Xian Shop was the largest pill shop in Green Summit City. There were many types of pills here, and all of them were complete, and their prices were much higher than Dan City's. However, Ling Xian Shop's business was still booming, and many people found it difficult to reach Dan City. The 3-story tall Ling Xian Shop was shrouded in white mist, just like an immortal pavilion. Just by standing at the entrance, one could smell the dense aroma of medicine, causing one to feel relaxed and happy. I really can't tell that this is a black shop. Xianxia thought the Ling Xian Shop looked very grand, as though he was a powerful industry. For the sake of reputation, these shops would usually not be lazy. He's probably someone who bullies the weak and fears the strong. He's the only one with a strong background here. If he doesn't have any strength, then the only thing he can do is endure being tricked. Su Meiyao said. Xianxia walked into the Ling Xian shop and quickly found the place where the Destiny Box were placed. There were hundreds of these Destiny Box here. The most expensive one was 2 billion, and the cheapest one was over 1 million. Most of the people who came to buy Destiny Box were all from Alchemist, and most of them were trying to try their luck by buying some half-dead rare medicine. Amongst those expensive Destiny Box, most of them were precious high-grade spirit medicines, but they were pretty much dead. Li Renshan was quite famous in the circle of Alchemist. Previously, he had defeated a few Dan Kings in Pill City and even obtained Heaven-Earth killing methods. It was just that the streets were not covered with portraits of Li Renshan, so there were not many people who recognized his face in Green Summit City. This little brother, your flames are extraordinary, to have such skills at such a young age. I presume your pill refining skills are not weak. Why don't you buy a destiny box to gamble with? An old man smiled kindly, but a deceptive glint flashed in his eyes from time to time. Xianxia had that intention, he just wanted to gamble. If the shop was shameless, he would reasonably destroy Ling Xian's shop. There's actually a medicinal ingredient for the blood-cleansing poison pill, that destiny box worth 1.5 billion. Su Meiyao said. Long Shui had already told Su Meiyao about the unique characteristics of the destiny box S. The blood-cleansing poison pill was a type of high-level detoxification pill that could cure many powerful poisons. It was of little use to Xianxia, but the value of the pills in his collection was still there. This was the pellet with the strongest detoxification ability of the middle-grade ground-level pills. They had a lot of market value. This one. When Xianxia took down the destiny box, the old man at the counter was extremely shocked. Originally, he had only planned to trick Xianxia to buy 100,000 or so million, but Xianxia had actually taken down the 1.5 billion. Xianxia laughed. I am here to gamble on pills. If I can refine the herbs in this box into a pill, your Ling Xian shop will have to return the 1.5 billion spar to me, and even give me a set of ingredients. The old man was startled, then suddenly thought of something. He was an alchemist. He had long heard of the great gamble in Dan City. The young man in front of him was very similar to the Li Renshan in the legends. Could it really be Li Renshan? The old man was secretly worried. When Li Tianjuan's successor made such a huge bet, it was not a joke. What is your surname, little brother? The old man asked. Li. Xianxia replied with a smile, causing the old man's legs to soften. This little kid, who had caused Dan King to lose everything, had actually come to Ling Xian's shop. Xianxia straightforwardly bought the destiny box and took out the pill furnace. The people around him had already been attracted over. It was rare for someone to bet pills. They were all very interested in waiting for the results. After the old man had a discussion with the big shots in the Ling Xian shop, he informed the Flying Immortal School and the City Lord, telling them to think of a way to get rid of this evil god. Pavilion Master. Seeing a man in cyan walking over, the shopkeeper hurriedly called out. When Xianxia came, he had already asked around. This pavilion master of the Ling Xian shop was the son of the Green Summit City. His name was Lu Xiuqing. After going through the 3 Nirvana tribulations as the boss of this dark shop, he definitely did not have a good character. After buying the destiny box, Xianxia took out the Yanlong furnace and opened it. The blood-cleansing poison pill isn't too difficult. Xianxia laughed. This little brother is truly worthy of being Li Tianjuan's successor. Seeing Xianxia's expression, the pavilion master could not help but be worried. If the blood-cleansing poison pill was refined, they would have to compensate him with a high-quality medicinal ingredient that was worth more than 2 billion. Everyone in the Ling Xian shop looked at Xianxia in shock. This handsome youth with tender skin was actually Li Renshan, who had caused such a commotion in Pill City. He actually came to the Green Summit City. Many people immediately thought of something terrifying. After Li Renshan obtained the Heaven-Earth killing method, he disappeared for a long time, and now that he had appeared in the Green Summit City, there was a high chance that he was here for the Emperor's tomb. When Xianxia was at the Dingshang pill shop in the Pill City, he had consecutively refined all the trash medicines from the Destiny box into high-quality spirit pellets. Everyone could tell from this that he had some tricks up his sleeves, and during the bet, he would definitely win the bet. Xianxia was not feeling any pressure while concocting a middle ground level pill. It only took half an hour to concoct the blood-cleansing poison pill, causing Lu Gongqing's face to be as green as his clothes. Hee, I've won. Give the spar back to me and give me another set of good herbs. Xianxia smiled as he held the 2 blood-cleansing poison pills. You cheated. He thought about it but still felt that this Li Renshan, other than having the ability to refine pills, was just a little imp. Furthermore, he was being chased around by those ancient powers. He did not need to be afraid. When did I cheat? Xianxia never thought that this fellow would actually dare to act shamelessly in front of so many people. Everyone already knew that the Ling Xian shop often played this trick, but no one dared to make a sound. With the Flying Immortal School and the City Lord's support, fighting against the Ling Xian shop was equivalent to seeking death. The pill in your possession isn't something that you just refined. You are indeed cheating. You are probably using this method to swindle me in the pill city. However, you are unable to swindle me. A white-haired old man walked in from outside. What a joke. That day there were a few Dan Kinges present. They all confirmed that my pill was just concocted. Are you stronger than those few Dan Kinges? Xianxia sneered, but this was what he had been hoping for. Perhaps you were lucky that you managed to successfully refine it. Now, let's not talk about your time in Pill City. For example, the blood-cleansing poison you have concocted today. I could tell that these 2 pills were not freshly concocted. It must be a trick of yours to concoct them. The white-haired old man said. Before I came here again, I heard that this Ling Xian shop is really good at this kind of trick, and now it's true. Xianxia laughed. Dan Alliance's Alliance Master is my master. Even though I am not Dan King, I have been in the field of alchemy for many years, so I definitely won't lie. A proud light flashed in the eyes of the white-haired old man. Alliance Head's disciple? The background was indeed huge and could scare a lot of people, but it was nothing to Xianxia. Li Runshan possessing the heaven-earth killing method was something that everyone knew. Even the Alliance Master's disciple wanted to snatch it away, but he did not have the guts. If an old man suddenly appeared here, this Ling Xian shop would be done for, unless the Alliance Master arrived. Pu Kongxin, what happened? A middle-aged man walked in. The middle-aged man was dressed in green, and his appearance was somewhat similar to that of the Pavilion Master. City Lord, this man cheated in Ling Xian shop and wanted to swindle for medicinal ingredients. Luckily I managed to expose him, or else Ling Xian shop would have suffered heavy losses. He was the disciple of the Dan Alliance's Alliance Master, so his words had a lot of weight. Furthermore, he himself was of the Pill Sex rank, an alchemist with a chance of becoming a Dan King. Xianxia could tell that these people in front of him were in a sorry state, as if they were about to be annihilated. They were often black people here. This Ling Xian shop was just like the rumors said, a dark shop. Li Runshan is the descendant of the Dan Kings Li Tianjun. There's no way he would cheat. There's no need to doubt that he would win if he had several Dan Kinges with him. Lu Guanghe frowned and looked at Xianxia. How about this, little brother? Just concoct another batch of pills for everyone to see. Lu Guanghe said, Okay. You said that I cheated? Then do you dare to bet with me? Xianxia's eyes shone with a cold light as he looked at Pu Kang's letter. Pu Kongxin sneered. Your cheating skills are so brilliant. How could I dare to gamble with you? Unless you use our pill furnace. Xianxia said, Sure, but your bet is a bit bigger. I've always played it big. What are you going to bet? Pu Kang's confidence wavered. When Xianxia took out something that could make people bleed from his head, he and Lu Guanghe wanted to take action and snatch it away. Heaven-Earth killing method. Everyone immediately took a deep breath. This heaven-earth killing method was a hot potato, but its value was hard to estimate. Xianxia guessed that the Dan Alliance's chief should be from the Flying Immortal School. The Flying Immortal School was one of the ancient powers and was strong enough to swallow the heaven-earth killing method. What are you guys betting with me for? Xianxia's voice carried ridicule. Although Lu Guanghe was a city lord, he couldn't take out something that could compare to a heaven-earth killing method. Humph, I knew you guys couldn't afford to gamble. Since that's the case, I don't need you to take out the bet. You just slandered me for cheating. As long as I can win, I will chop off your head. Everyone knows the value of this heaven-earth killing method. If you can't even exchange with 10 heads, you should feel honored. The muscles on Pu Kongxin's face twitched. He was infuriated. This little kid in front of him actually looked down on his head so much and belittled him so much. Forget about 10, even if there were 100 of him, he wouldn't be able to match up to the heaven-earth killing method. What's the use of having an old guy like him? This was Duan Sanchang's voice. When he received the news, he immediately dared to come. Xianxia had just used a green dragon demon-slain broadsword to kill an elder of the Flying Immortal School. And now that he was using Li Runshan's identity to act high-profile, He definitely had a plan. He wanted to press Duan Sanchong to death. But right at this moment, Xianxia said with a sneer, "Are you betting or not? Using your head as the wager for the heaven-earth killing method is very worthwhile." "I bet." Pu Kongxin was certain that Xianxia only won because he relied on the pill refining furnace. Previously, he asked Xianxia to use the furnace that they had prepared, so he was very confident. "Brother Xin, they are only stalling for time. If the old fellows from the ancient powers were to come, you would be in trouble," Duan Sanchong whispered to Xianxia. Of course Xianxia could tell, but he was confident. He chose a destiny box, and inside it were all Iron Bone Dan's medicinal ingredients. He had refined a super Iron Bone Dan before, and he was extremely familiar with it, so refining it wasn't difficult at all. "Take it. This is the pill furnace for you." Pu Kongxin passed a gray pill furnace to Xianxia. One could tell at a glance that it was of poor quality. Even some of the alchemists present secretly despised Pu Kongxin, and thought that he was actually this shameless. Many alchemists would not be able to produce Iron Bone Dan using abandoned herbs even if they used a good furnace to refine pills, let alone such a low-grade furnace. But Xianxia did not say much. He wanted to convince the other party wholeheartedly. "We have to make it impossible for Pukong to frame him." Xianxia took out his supplementary ingredients. Although these supplementary ingredients were grown using Creation Divine Liquid S and were the key to refining the trash medicine into a pill, even if he did not use these supplementary ingredients, he would still be able to succeed. It was just that the difficulty would be higher. Duan Sanchong was extremely nervous. He knew that many strong warriors would arrive soon, especially those immortals who were in super old sacred land. At this time, he suddenly remembered Xiang's intention for doing this. He actually wanted to lure all those immortals into the rough and random profound land, and that would be the place of true death. This fellow is too evil. If a group of immortals were to die, the heaven realm would definitely explode. Duan Sanchong's heart was thumping hard. Xianxia started to concoct pills steadily from the beginning, which made Pu Kongxin extremely nervous. However, he had already made up his mind that he would not act shamelessly even if he lost. No matter what he said, he wouldn't give his head away. They were waiting for the big shots of the Flying Immortal School to arrive. Otherwise, when the experts of the other ancient powers arrive first, the heaven-earth killing method will run away and they would definitely be punished. "Don't worry. He will need at least an hour to refine a Iron Bone Dan," Pu Kong replied to Lu Guang and sound transmission. But just at that moment, Xianxia opened his eyes, opened the lid, only to see a gold light flashing from the pill furnace. He actually succeeded, although there was only one, but its quality was high. It was extremely difficult. Everyone could feel the dense fragrance of the medicine and the scorching hot air on top of the Iron Bone Dan. It was obvious that it was fresh from the oven at a glance. Pu Kong was extremely confident and immediately shouted angrily, "Impossible! You must be cheating! You used such a poor pill furnace and you can still refine so quickly. You must have used some unknown method. Humph, you didn't learn well at such a young age, and are just trying to trick me, the Ling Xian shop, into coming here. Today I will teach you a lesson in place of Li Tianjun." Everyone immediately rushed out of Ling Xian shop. Pu Kongxin was being shameless, but everyone could tell that this kind of shameless fellow was hated by everyone, because Pu Kongxin's strength and background was too strong. Not many people dared to make a sound. City Lord Lu Guanghe was also inside the Ling Xian shop. He coldly laughed. "This is intentionally causing trouble. Li Renshan, I must capture you today." Xiang had already anticipated this a long time ago, and he was extremely calm. "Can you teach me a lesson in place of Li Tianjun? You don't even have the right to clean his shoes. You old dog. If I defeat you today, your head will be mine." He was extremely jealous of Xiang's alchemy skills, so he definitely would not send his head up. Moreover, he also wanted to capture Xiang and hand him over to Flying Immortal School to claim the credit. "You cheated. And you even insulted me. Watch this." Pu Kongxin was not weak either. But in order to avoid any mishaps, Lu Guangming and Lu Guangxing, father and son, also made their moves. However, just as they were about to move their feet, they found that their feet were entangled by something. They immediately looked down and saw several water dragons tightly entangling their feet. Dirty dog, I've bitten your head. Ling Xian Shop's black shop will disappear forever from today onwards. Those who don't want to die must quickly leave. Chun Xiang's voice was cold. Anger and killing intent surged out at the same time, filling the hall of Ling Xian Shop. All the staff there were so scared their legs were trembling, and they anxiously ran out. The people outside were even more shocked. This seemingly harmless youth actually had such a strong killing intent right now. Everyone could not help but suspect if it was because he was cultivating in the heaven-earth killing method. Look, that's the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. One of them suddenly cried out. His voice was full of shock. No need for him to shout. Anyone outside the door would be able to see that a large green blade had appeared in Chun Xiang's hand. The blade had a green dragon sculpture, and a light mist was condensing into several small dragons that were circling around the blade. Chun Xiang revealed his true appearance, and upon seeing him, everyone was scared stiff. The Li Renshan who obtained the heaven-earth killing method was actually Chun Xiang. He already had a green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and now he had a heaven-earth killing method. How terrifying was this? Shen, Chun Xiang. Pu Kongxin's face was filled with shock. You shameless old dog, you can die now. Chun Xiang chopped Pu Kongxin's head off horizontally with his blade, causing blood to flow all over the floor. Everyone's eyes turned round. He is the disciple of the Dan Alliance's Alliance Master, and he was killed just like that? The Dan Alliance is about to go berserk. The Alliance Master is not a pushover. This brat has been expelled from Super Martial School. He is already lawless. Lu Gongqing, Lu Guang and the father and son were struggling. Their entire bodies were covered in blood, and their faces had a lot of blood on them, making them extremely terrified, because Chun Xiang looked at them with eyes filled with killing intent. We're the flying immortals. Chun Xiang did not wait for him to finish speaking. With a wave of his big blade, two heads rolled down. I have already killed one of the clan elders of Flying Immortal School. I am not afraid of killing all of you. Chun Xiang sneered just now. These two people actually wanted to capture him. Although his strength was not ordinary, after being struck by Chun Xiang's hail magic wind and entangled by the water dragon inside their bodies, they could not move at all. Chong Zi, come in quickly and copy this place down with me, Chun Xiang shouted. Although Duan Sanchong was a little apprehensive, he still walked in with a smile on his face. He liked to do this kind of thing the most. Everyone scolded the two of them in their hearts. They knew that Duan Sanchong had lost very badly in Pill City, but they never thought that the two of them were actually in the same group. Duan Sanchong had purposely pushed a large group of idiots into the gambling house, causing them to lose all their money. Brother Shen, hurry up and run, Duan Sanchong said. The Ling Xian shop had already been shot, and Chun Xiang had even set a fire. Run? How can I do that? I'm a nobody right now. How can I not enjoy myself? Chun Xiang laughed out loud. A flame came out from his back, releasing the Suzaka fire wing. He spread his wings and flew high into the sky. In a large plaza of the Green Summit City, it was filled with ancient transmission array, all constructed by the great powers. Chun Xiang stood on top of a tower at the side of the plaza. What is he doing? Could it be that he wanted to destroy the transmission array? Destroying the transmission array is something that the heavens cannot tolerate. If someone just so happens to teleport here, wouldn't that mean? Right now, there are many ancient powers rushing over. Could it be that he wants to take this opportunity to destroy all of those antiques? This is too crazy. Could it be that this brat wants to become enemies with the entire world? There's nothing we can do. He has the heaven-earth killing method and the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. Even if he doesn't make enemies with others, other people will chase after him all over the world. In any case, the consequences are the same. Why not let me have it? A transmission array suddenly lit up. Chun Xiang immediately brandished his green dragon demon-slain broadsword and released a green chi, instantly destroying the transmission array. A few elders suddenly fell out of the sky. Their bodies were all cracked and dripping with blood, falling heavily onto the ground, as they vomited large mouthfuls of blood. When everyone saw this scene, their scalps tingled. If there was a problem with the transmission array during teleportation, it would cause space to collapse and the spatial energy would tear everything apart. It was already good enough for these old fellows to be able to vomit blood. The current transmission array was an ancient transmission array, and the spatial energy it generated was extremely strong. If the transmission array was affected, the power could be imagined. Another transmission array flashed. Xianxia slashed out again, causing a few broken corpses to fall from the sky, causing everyone to break out in cold sweat. Even if it was for free, they would not use this ancient transmission array since killing them would be too dangerous. Xianxia's blade was completely destroyed, and many people were able to escape from the space that had collapsed. But they were all severely injured, and most of these people were immortals. "Little bastard! I won't forgive you," an old man roared. He had escaped from the collapsed space, and after hearing the people around the plaza discuss this, he immediately understood what had happened. He immediately swallowed a precious pill to recover some of his strength. This is what happens when we snatch away the divine blade and heaven-earth killing method. Xianxia sneered, jumped up into the sky, dove down, and smashed down with his palm towards the plaza. A green gigantic palm suddenly smashed down, like a mountain, smashing through the transmission array and the entire plaza. "You traitors are not worthy to enter the Emperor's tomb." After Xianxia destroyed the transmission array, he threw down those words and flew towards the rough and random profound land. Less than an hour after Xianxia left, a few elderly people appeared in the sky above the green summit city. They all came here using a one-way transmission array, and the cost of coming here was extremely high because they knew that something had happened. Li Runshan was Xianxia, and Xianxia was Li Runshan. This news set off a huge uproar in Pill City. The people who lost really badly at that time were all cursing Xianxia and Duan Sanchong in their hearts. Now, the various ancient powers all knew that Xianxia was not to be trifled with. To be able to master a high-level alchemy and a few precious medicine, at the same time, possess Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword and Taiji Dragon Suppressed Kung Fu, and also have Heaven-Earth Killing Method in his hands, once he grows up in the future, he would definitely become a great disaster. If it was before, they could perhaps go to Super Martial School to get, but Super Martial School had already expelled Xianxia. They could not threaten Xianxia at all. Everyone now understood that Huang Jintian's scheme was to make Xianxia do crazy things without any hesitation. Right now, everyone only knew that Xianxia had entered the rough and random profound land, and that the Immortals were even considering whether or not they should enter to look for Xianxia. They knew that Xianxia had the Heaven-Earth Killing Method and the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword. If they could enter the Emperor's tomb and obtain the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's inheritance, then the ancient powers who had betrayed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord in the past would really suffer. After Xianxia entered the rough and random profound land, the entire place was filled with experts, especially the Immortals who just came out of the super old sacred land. They were fighting fiercely with Lan Song inside, and most of them were heavily injured. Right now, with Xianxia causing such a huge commotion in the Green Summit City, using such a vicious method like destroying the transmission array to injure a lot of strong warriors, he was purposely provoking them, allowing them to enter the rough and random profound land. What kind of place was the rough and random profound land? It was the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's mausoleum, and it was filled with danger. Just by being surrounded by a large group of powerful ancient beasts, it was difficult for the experts from the large ancient powers to enter. Xianxia's intention was very clear. He wanted to lure them into the rough and random profound land and cause heavy casualties. This brat is obviously going to lure us into the rough and random profound land. There are many dangers inside, and all kinds of killing array formations and illusions are spread all over. An old man's voice was filled with endless hatred, because when Xianxia destroyed the transmission array, he suffered from severe injuries, causing him to have no choice but to eat a precious high-leveled pill to recover. That is to say that your Feng clan does not plan to enter? The little demon had Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword and Heaven-Earth Killing Method. He was already prepared to enter the rough and random profound land. It seemed like he knew how to open the Emperor's tomb. If we don't hurry up and decide to go in, the things inside the Emperor's tomb will really fall into his hands. An old woman dressed in a white robe said in a sinister manner, Her eyes were as sudden as a wolf's and were extremely frightening. Even if Xianxia was certain that this group of people would think this way, he believed that this group of people would definitely catch up to him. The last time he came here, he did not get discovered because he had used his transformation technique. Many old fellows were discussing, and all of them were talking about immortals. Even the leaders of the ancient powers couldn't stop themselves from talking. Their strength was far too inferior compared to these old fellows. Moreover, these old fellows were their seniors. A ray of white light suddenly flashed above Green Summit City, and a crack in space appeared. A white mist appeared, and waves of white light shot out from the white mist. "It's the heavenly girl." An old man's expression changed as he whispered, "The heavenly girl above heaven realm? Looking at this aura, it should be from the White Sea Imperial Land. I never thought that the heavenly girl above the heaven realm would be so strong." The old woman exclaimed. The White Sea Imperial Land both had a heavenly girl in the heaven realm and here. The heavenly girl in the heaven realm was obviously very strong, and now that she was here, it could be seen how serious this matter was. Everyone saw a gigantic white jade disc fly out from the white mist. On the disc was a round jade house that looked like it could fly from a distance. Everyone was staring at the window of the house. After the jade hut appeared, it flew towards the rough and random profound land and disappeared in a flash. "I heard that this is an immortal equipment. His speed is really fast." An immortal from an ancient power exclaimed. Just then, a golden light flashed above Green Summit City, and a huge golden ship, over 100 meters long, that looked like it was forged from gold, appeared, floating in the sky. It shone with a golden light, looking extremely imposing, and there was a mighty golden dragon head at the bow of the ship. "This is the stuff of the Feng clan's son, the brilliant sun dragon boat." A light voice came out from the golden ship in the sky. "Feng clan people, quickly come up." The experts of the Green Summit City were immediately overjoyed and flew towards the brilliant sun dragon boat. With the arrival of the Feng clan's real son of heaven and the real heavenly girl of the White Sea Imperial Land, it could be seen that they were determined to catch Xianxia, seize his green dragon demon-slain broadsword and heaven-earth killing method, and open the Emperor's tomb. Both White Sea Imperial Land and Feng clan had sent out their important figures, the son of heaven and heavenly girl from above heaven realm, to drive the immortal equipment and chase after Xianxia. This caused the other ancient powers to become extremely envious. There were many ancient powers on this land, but only those who were the most powerful in the heaven realm could do so. They could only stare blankly at the land, even though they had experts who had descended from the top of the heaven realm. They were still lacking when compared to those in the Shang domain. Rough and random profound land is in the south, but only White Sea Imperial Land and White Sea Imperial Land have moved out. Don't you think the Qin family and the Peach Blossom Imperial Land do not plan to participate? Or do they not dare to offend Xianxia? A young man asked a tall young man wearing a copper mask beside him. The Emperor's tomb is inside the rough and random profound land. According to my analysis, even if Xianxia possessed the green dragon demon-slain broadsword and heaven-earth killing method, it would be very difficult for him to open the Emperor's tomb, so in this short period of time, the Emperor's tomb would not be opened by anyone. Feng clan and White Sea Imperial Land are currently trying to capture Xianxia, and this is a grudge between them and Xianxia. If Peach Blossom Imperial Land and the Qin family were to interfere, once Xianxia grows up in the future, the Qin family and Peach Blossom Imperial Land would have to bear a huge loss. Feng clan and White Sea Imperial Land will be the examples of what happened to them previously. The bronze-masked youth said, "Big brother, you are also a son of the heavens in heaven realm. Don't you want to fight against these two heavenly women?" The youth asked in a low voice. "We will meet again sooner or later. The 10th day, the day of rebirth, is the day when the various powers in Dtion rise to prominence. Our Fire Emperor bloodline is definitely not weaker than the other ancient powers." The bronze-masked youth said. What was unexpected was that at this time, a burst of blood-red light suddenly burst out from the sky. It was actually a group of blood-red werewolves. It was actually the Blood Wolf demonic tribe. The leader of the middle-aged man had a body filled with a blood chi that shot into the sky, his eyes spurting out blood light as he scanned across Green Summit City. The middle-aged man raised his head and roared, and then rushed towards rough and random profound land. The Blood Wolf King had actually brought along a few elites from the Blood Wolf demonic clan to kill their way here. When they found out that Xianxia was here, they couldn't wait to rush over. Brother, this Xianxia is not so simple. Will he surpass us when he grows up in the future? The teenager asked. How could our Fire Emperor bloodline be so easily compared by ordinary people? The young man with the bronze mask sneered. These fellows from Tong Tian aristocratic family and Sheng domain are our opponents. There were many rankers in the Green Summit City, but none of them dared to enter the rough and random profound land. They only felt the danger from outside, and the reason they gathered here was to wait for the results. They wanted to see what would happen to the Feng clan and the White Sea Imperial land in the end. In the end, Xianxia's calculations were wrong. He never thought that there would be such a powerful person who came down from the heaven realm, and that there would be such a powerful treasure. What troubled him the most was that he had been discovered. He was only at the periphery of rough and random profound land now, so he had to carefully move forward, afraid that those beasts would discover his location. However, he was not afraid of the giant dragon boat and jade house flying in the sky. Ji Meixian came too. Could it be that little maid betrayed me? Impossible, she's very obedient. Furthermore, if she violates the contract, she will definitely betray her master. So how can I not know? Although Xianxia had turned into a butterfly now, he could clearly feel a few strange divine intents locking onto him. The traders of the heaven realm are much stronger than I imagined. They have grasped some ancient treasures and can detect your aura. Ji Meixian whispered to Xianxia. Xianxia did not respond. He was worried that someone would notice and hurt Ji Meixian. These guys are all traders of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. At that time, the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord was beaten away by them. So they must have divided the wealth that the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord had accumulated in order to become so powerful. Xianxia guessed that even though he had used all kinds of concealment methods, he was still unable to shake off the pursuers. Something's wrong up ahead, Long Shui suddenly said. Xianxia took a closer look and realized that there was a huge cloud of fog in front of him. The fog was slowly dispersing, and he could vaguely see the Lion Mountain. Countless gigantic Lion Mountainess had appeared so quickly, which made Xianxia very surprised. When he had first seen these Lion Mountain, he had traveled a long way. Quick! Look at the bottom of Lion Mountain, Long Shui said again. Xianxia's consciousness was not as strong as Long Shui's. Long Shui could turn his consciousness into many eyes, and could even see through them, but he could also see that underneath Lion Mountain was actually a sea of blood. The sea of blood was calm, but it emitted an endless evil aura, emitting waves of murderous intent that sent chills down one's spine. Xianxia previously thought that his killing intent was extremely strong, but compared to the sea of blood before, it was nothing. The murderous air that soared into the sky pushed the white mist away, forming a terrifying pressure that filled the sky and caused all living things on earth to tremble. Many strange beasts suddenly roared, and every one of their roars revealed incomparable fear. Then, something even more horrifying happened. A large number of strange beasts rushed towards the sea of blood and jumped into it. What the fuck is going on? Why is it like this? This was something he had never thought of before. At this moment, he could no longer move forward, but there were experts chasing after him from behind. The originally calm sea of red suddenly surged. Waves after waves of blood lapped at the huge Lion Mountain, surging wave after wave of huge waves, radiating with a devilish bloody light as they majestically rushed over. This sea of blood was expanding outwards. It was like a starving beast that wanted to devour everything. The brilliant sun dragon boat and the jade house in the sky behind them suddenly stopped. After they noticed the Lion Mountainess, they no longer dared to approach them. Just as they decided to return, countless red clouds suddenly appeared in the sky, and thunder rumbled. Blood-red lightning covered the sky and the Shueles rained down like a torrential rain, engulfing the brilliant sun dragon arc and jade house. It's all because of these bastards. It's probably because they were too powerful, and even used some ancient methods to investigate this place and trigger some formations. That's why something like this happened. Xianxia cursed. The shui lay in the sky resembled the bloody Thunder Mountain Sea. The shui lay, blood sea, and blood cloud enveloped the entire world, causing people to feel extremely terrified. At this moment, Xianxia, who was flying in the sky, was dumbstruck as he watched the blood fall a large part of the forest. This sea is also part of the surface. Could it be that this sea is a part of the ground killing? Xianxia looked at the Lion Mountain floating above the sea of blood. He looked at the clash of killing intent and the sea of blood roaring, and started to ponder. He came here to comprehend the ground killing, and now he seemed to have grasped something. It was not only the White Sea Imperial land that chased him, but also the Blood Wolf demihumans. This group of evil demon who made their living from blood also became half dead from fright when they saw the terrifying sea of blood. At first, they were still very excited, but when they felt the power the blood possessed, it was already too late. A long head rushed forward and swept away all of the Blood Wolf army. Only the Blood Wolf King was able to react in time and resist the terrifying pressure. He jumped high into the sky and was not submerged by the sea of blood. The brilliant Sun Dragon boat and the Jade House slowly descended, and the shui lay slowly weakened until a large group of people came out of them. Then the shui lay and the blood cloud disappeared. As expected, it was these guys who made it. Xianxia coldly snorted in his heart. You almost caused the death of my little maid. Xianxia flew towards a Lion Mountain. He felt that there must be some kind of array formation that could shrink the ground, allowing them to instantly arrive in front of the Lion Mountain. The sea of blood suddenly calmed down and slowly retreated. It was clear that the array formation had been triggered just now, which was why there had been such a big commotion. The Blood Wolf evil demon that had just been submerged had now turned into bones. What was inconceivable was that the forest inside the forest was not affected in the slightest. When the sea of blood left, the forest remained as green water. The strange beasts are coming, Long Shui shouted. Xianxia had guessed that these beasts were the descendants of the subordinates of the Ten Heavens' Supreme Lord. Although they were sealed by a strange power, they were protected by the Ten Heavens' Supreme Lord here. Thousands of strange mountain-like beasts started to run, as if they were about to stomp on the earth. The sound was no weaker than the terrifying sea of blood and shui lay. Xianxia turned back into his human form and flew towards the Lion Mountain. At the same time, he also sent a sound transmission to Xianxia. Little maid, come over here. Beside Xianxia was Bai Hai Tian Nu, a tall lady wearing a blue dress. Her face was covered with a layer of red light, and it was impossible to see her appearance clearly. Her body emitted a killing intent, showing that she was not a weak woman. What are you still standing there for? Go catch that kid, this great heavenly woman roared at Xianxia. Her tone was extremely bad, as though she was treating a slave. Even Xianxia, her true master, did not treat her in such a way. This girl from the heaven realm actually dared to scold her in such a manner. Xianxia knew that it would be safer by Xianxia's side, and now that it was right beside her, she quickly flew towards Xianxia, and behind her was a large group of Feng Clan's people. All of them were not too strong, and the stronger ones were all fighting against the beasts. Follow closely, try your best to stay close to me. We will pretend to be fighting as we fly towards Lion Mountain. Xianxia stared at the Lion Mountain in front of him. The mental cultivation method of the ground killing and a few mystical spirit grains continuously surfaced in his mind. He suddenly changed his direction and flew towards another Lion Mountain. The Lion Mountain in front of him all lined up in rows after rows, looking exactly the same. There were countless Lion Mountain in the first row, but Xianxia felt that something was wrong with some of them. These Lion Mountain all had a type of killing intent that could only be felt when his killing heart was beating. He felt that there was definitely danger near these Lion Mountains. Therefore, when he picked the first row of Lion Mountain that did not have that kind of special killing aura, he felt that it would be very safe to pass through the foot of these Lion Mountains. Xianxia belongs to my White Sea Imperial land. Please do not interfere. Xianxia roared. He took out his sword and stabbed it towards Xianxia, pretending to be fighting with him. Xianxia turned the green dragon demon-slain broadsword into a dagger and blocked Ji Meixian's long sword. If he used the dagger, he could stay close to Ji Meixian. How strong is that woman? She doesn't seem to be very nice to you? Xianxia blocked Ji Meixian's sword while asking with his mind. This slut order my servant around, and she has a vile attitude. Sooner or later, I will kill her. Do you want to enter the emperor's tomb now? Or do you have other plans? Ji Meixian really hated the Great Heaven Lady. The heavenly women and heavenly sons in the heaven realm were called the Great Heaven Lady and the Great Heaven Son, while people like Ji Meixian were called the Little Heaven Girl. I plan to play them to death. Right now, a lot of Feng clan and their people have died. Xianxia saw that many people had been devoured by the gigantic beasts. Xianxia approached a lion mountain. This lion mountain made Xianxia feel that it was extremely dangerous, but he had deliberately approached it because a large group of people from Feng clan was behind him. Use your strongest strength to attack this lion mountain, and then use your fastest speed to fly towards that lion mountain, Xianxia whispered to Ji Meixian. Ji Meixian immediately did as he was told and shouted lightly. He waved his sword and released a ray of sword chi that carried a vast amount of energy. After slashing out with her sword, she flew towards the lion mountain that Xianxia had pointed out to be. Xianxia was right in front of her, and she looked as if she was chasing after him. When those people who had just followed along approached the lion mountain that was attacked by Ji Meixian, the earth suddenly trembled. A large amount of flames gushed out of the lion mountain, and this 30,000-meter tall lion mountain was now like a gigantic blazing lion. The flames soared high into the sky, forming a fiery cloud. The fiery cloud surged as it fell down from the sky and began to bombard the group of people. Only about a dozen of them were able to escape, and the rest were burnt to ashes after being hit by the burning rocks. This greatly shocked the son of heaven of Feng clan. Amongst those who died, many were immortals who came down with him, but now a large number of them died in an instant. Those lion mountainess were truly terrifying. Xianxia and Ji Meixian had long since escaped from the Sea of Flames and entered the gigantic lion mountain to hide within the forest. These lion mountainess were all like enormous lions lying prone on the ground. The highest point was approximately 30,000 meters, and every single one of them were exactly the same. The Lion Mountain was a lush green land filled with huge trees that reached into the sky. That woman's strength is not bad, and she's also very young, with only 200 to 300 years of age. She can already reach that level of strength. As expected of someone that White Sea Imperial Land has his eyes on, when she comes down, all the White Sea Imperial Land here will listen to her. Ji Meixian followed behind Xianxia. She had heard that these Lion Mountain were all extremely dangerous, and the Lion Mountain she had attacked earlier proved this point. Do you think I'm ordering you around? Xianxia laughed. This woman wants to snatch my little maid. I will teach her a lesson sooner or later. Ji Meixian did not treat her very badly. In her eyes, Xianxia was much better than the big girl. You want to take her in as a slave? Ji Meixian asked. She is worthy to be my slave. Compared to you, she is nothing. Xianxia laughed. Ji Meixian did not count. She was from the Yu Immortal fairy, and had the blood of 2 royal birds in her body. That heavenly woman was indeed nothing compared to her. But she had still become Xianxia's female slave. Her talent isn't bad. If I give her some things, it won't be difficult for her to reach my peak strength from that year. Ji Meixian said again. You want me to accept her? Don't even think about it. For a woman like her, as long as I want, I can kill her and take her as my slave. I don't feel any sense of accomplishment at all. Ji Meixian was a little angry. Of course she knew that after Xianxia accepted her, he had a lot of sense of accomplishment. What are you looking for? Ji Meixian followed Xianxia as they ran through the forest in Lion Mountain. When she heard the sounds of battle coming from outside, she could not help but be worried. That woman has a way to find me. I have to get rid of her. Your plans cannot keep up with the changes. It seems like your plans to become the Queen of White Sea won't work. Xianxia sighed. She's here. Long Shui suddenly reminded Xianxia and Ji Meixian. Ji Meixian immediately brought out his sword and faked an attack on Xianxia, while Xianxia also intentionally tried to escape. It wasn't as if he had no other choice. He didn't want Ji Meixian's relationship with him to be exposed. Leaving Ji Meixian in White Sea Imperial Land was not a bad thing. Chun Xiang quickly rushed to the front of a gigantic monument with a few words written on it. Although he did not know what was written on it, he smashed it with one punch. It's still too late. Chun Xiang already felt that a few people had landed on this Lion Mountain. When he smashed the gigantic 10 monuments, the Lion Mountain suddenly trembled. At the same time, a tall lady in a blue dress and 2 handsome men in golden armor appeared beside him, surrounding him tightly. Chun Xiang belongs to our White Sea Imperial Land. The woman in the blue dress spoke coldly. Her voice carried a sense of power. Her face was still hidden by the light rays, and it was impossible to see her features. One of the golden-armored men released a burst of killing intent. The hatred between Feng Clan and Chun Xiang is not small, and he was the first to provoke us, Feng Clan. Chun Xiang was calm. The 2 golden-armored men from the Feng Clan and the heavenly girl from the White Sea Imperial Land were indeed powerful. But he did not know what level they were at. In short, they were not weak people in the heaven realm. Go and give him 2 slaps. I don't like his current calm look, the blue-dressed lady said to Ji Meixian. Hurry up. Didn't you hear what I said? The blue-dressed woman was furious. Her jade palm was like lightning as she ruthlessly slapped Ji Meixian with her palm, sending him flying and crashing into a big tree. Chen Xiang was furious in her heart, hitting her little maid right in front of him. But Ji Meixian remained calm instead. She was also extremely angry in her heart, wishing that she could tear her big sister into 8 pieces. I say, all of you, let's talk after we leave this place alive. If you don't believe me, you can fly to the sky and see where this Lion Mountain is. Chun Xiang's voice was overcast. He really wanted to kill this heavenly girl. The gigantic stone tablet that Chun Xiang had broken just now was still here. The great heaven lady and the 2 Feng Clan men suddenly thought that it was very likely that Chun Xiang had activated some array formation to move the Lion Mountain. That was likely the reason why the Lion Mountain was shaken back then. Chun Xiang had originally planned to activate the mechanism of the Lion Mountain and let the Lion Mountain teleport away. This way, he would be able to temporarily free himself from the powerful heavenly women. He did not expect that these people would arrive so quickly, but he was not worried. The array had already been activated, and the Lion Mountain had moved to the center of the countless Lion Mountain. They were trapped to death here, and only he knew how to get out. The ground killing did indeed contain many things, and this was something that Chun Xiang had comprehended bit by bit after he had entered. Right now, he could feel that this Lion Mountain was filled with a type of spatial energy, capable of exchanging places with other Lion Mountain. When she saw that there were countless Lion Mountainess all around her, her expression became extremely ugly. She had a greater understanding of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord than Ji Meixian, and knew very well how dangerous it was to be trapped here. At this moment, the 2 golden-armored men flew into the skies, their faces the same as the blue-robed woman's. My life is cheap, so dying here is fine, but you guys are different. In the huge heaven realm, there are young elites here, and they are the favored ones of the heavens. If you guys were to live in this kind of damned place, then it would truly be a pity. Chun Xiang said calmly. Boom! A deafening sound suddenly rang out from high up in the sky as a tyrannical aura enveloped the area. A golden light suddenly slid down and struck a golden-armored man. Bang! The golden-armored man's body suddenly exploded into a cloud of smoke. The blue-dressed lady was shocked. She anxiously brought Chun Xiang to the ground. Brother! At the same time, a golden light flashed, and the man immediately fell to the ground, avoiding that terrifying golden light. Now they all knew that it was impossible to fly out. As long as there was someone in the air, a mysterious force would appear. Chun Xiang secretly laughed in his heart. He did not expect one to die so quickly, but he was still respectful to that kind of power. Everything here was set up by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord before he died. Even the experts from the heaven realm were not able to resist it, and they all turned into ashes in an instant. Seeing Chun Xiang's calm appearance, she knew that Chun Xiang was planning to play the Great Sky Woman and the Great Sky Sun to death. Brat, quickly get me out of here, or else I'll make you want to die. The voice of the woman in the blue dress was very vicious. Zhao Yipper found, what do you mean? Just take you out? The handsome face of the golden-armored man was filled with gloom and rage. Feng Zipper found, do you want to fight me? Xianxia was the first one I caught. So of course he's mine. Zhao Yipperfound took out a sword. How could he possibly belong to this woman? Hey, if the power of the attack is too strong, we will all die. This is the Emperor's tomb, you have to stay quiet. Xianxia said what he said was the truth. If the two of them were to fight, it would definitely cause his death. Zhao Yipperfound raged and pointed the sword straight at Xianxia's throat. It's all because of you, you little bastard, causing me to fall into Emperor's tomb. If you can't bring me out, I will definitely let you live a life worse than death. Xianxia laughed coldly. Damn bitch, do you really think I'm afraid of you? This is the first time I've seen you and you want to catch me? If you didn't want to capture me, would I have had to take such a risk? This is all your fault. What? What did you just curse at me about? Zhao Yipperfound slightly bullied her chest. This was the first time someone had scolded her like this. Damned bitch, Xianxia shouted. You bunch of bastards, why are you snatching my green dragon demon-slain broadsword and heaven-earth killing method? These are all things I have, you only know how to plunder. Don't tell me that you created this, it's bullshit. These are all things that belong to the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord, and your ancestors were all traitors that betrayed the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord. I have obtained these things by fate, so I will definitely help the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord eliminate the remnants of you traitors. Xianxia's every word was like a blade. His voice was like thunder, his body releasing traces of black chi, which could clearly be seen killing intent. He released all the killing intent from his body, venting his hatred towards the ancient powers. Previously, even if the people here did not know that he was a green dragon demon-slain broadsword, they would still want to snatch his blade. Stop! Zhao Yipperfound was furious, but he did not dare make a move against Xianxia, because she was currently feeling a wave of anger that overflowed to the heavens, and that aura could not help but cause her knees to bend, and she abruptly knelt down. Feng Zipperfound was the same as Zhao Yipperfound, kneeling down on the ground unknowingly. That peerlessly powerful aura made people kneel down and acknowledge him as their master. At this time, Xianxia could only feel that the slaughter god's hand on his hands were trembling. The aura was being released from the white tiger gloves, not the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord's aura. He suddenly had a faint feeling about the relationship between the four symbols' divine weapons and himself. Originally, he wanted to take out the green dragon demon-slain broadsword S and kill the two people in front of him. But as the imposing chi dissipated, Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound stood up with faces full of anger. Don't even think about making a move on me. As long as I die, you all will definitely not be able to live. As you all have seen just now, the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord's remnant souls are here. The only reason I didn't kill you all was because I wanted to leave as well. Although Xianxia lied all over, looking at his current expression, it was as if he was speaking the truth. Just now, both Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound had felt that kind of terrifying power, and it made them feel that they were not even comparable to ants. Especially that kind of terrifying killing intent, it made them completely certain that that was the aura of the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord. A mere mortal wants to negotiate with me? Wishful thinking, Zhao Yipperfound shouted coldly. You're too high up, you don't eat the fire and smoke of the mortal world. Then you can go out by yourself. What little mortal? When he was in Sacred Dan Realm, the dragon he killed was definitely stronger than Zhao Yipperfound, and he already had 2 ways to kill Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound, but he planned to use these 2 methods to help him explore the Emperor's tomb. It wouldn't be too late to kill it after it had lost its value. You want my green dragon demon-slain broadsword and heaven-earth killing method. But I can tell you the truth. The heaven-earth killing method has already fused into my brain. The stone tablet is gone. If I had died, the green dragon demon-slain broadsword would have been free to choose whether to follow me and dissipate, or search for its master. However, based on the current situation, the green dragon demon-slain broadsword would definitely not follow the descendants of traitors like you. The heaven-earth killing method was recorded on a stone tablet, but no one had been able to decipher the contents within the stone tablet for many years. Later on, everyone realized that as long as they had enough killing intent, They could make the stone tablet recognize them as its owner, and the heaven-earth killing method would enter into their own minds. Just a moment ago, Zhao Yiprofound and Feng Zipperfound had seen Xianxia's terrifying killing intent, and now they did not doubt Xianxia's words at all. Otherwise, Xianxia would not have known about the mechanisms within the Lion Mountain. Zhao Yiprofound and Feng Zipperfound were extremely unreconciled in their hearts. They had gone all out and had suffered numerous casualties in the past few days, but in the end, they were unable to obtain the two things that they wanted to snatch. Even if they caught Xianxia, they would not be able to get anything. Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword were called divine weapons. They were not refined by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. They were extremely powerful. If not for the fact that they were selected by the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword, it would not be easy to control them, and they might even die from the backlash. Humph, don't blame me. From start to finish, it's your own fault. You're greedy, shameless, despicable, like bandits. But now, you know that the things you want to take will absolutely not be with you. Xianxia laughed out loud. Xianxia had known about this from the beginning, but he did not say anything. Letting those ancient powers continue to target him, this way, it would be perfectly justifiable for him to counterattack. Moreover, it would cause the ancient powers' reputation to turn bad, and now those ancient powers were all linked to the Devil Realm by many people. In the end, everything came to naught, and he was even scratched all over. That was why Xianxia was smiling so happily. Once we leave this place, everything will be over. Feng Zipperfound's face was full of hatred, wishing that he could kill Xianxia right now. Xianxia laughed. Will it really end? If Detian was reborn, would the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord be reborn? You traitors, can you escape? Feng Zipperfound's heart trembled and said coldly, as long as we kill you, the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's inheritance will stop, and in the future, there will be no more people like the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord that will appear. Xianxia shook his head and laughed lightly. That is not what I meant. I was talking about 10 Heavens Supreme Lord being reborn. Look at this Emperor's tomb. What do you think the consequences would be if the strongest group of people from Heaven Realm were to come here? Although the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord is already dead, the power here is still great. Xianxia's meaning was very clear. These Lion Mountain represented the power of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, and his death had always been a mystery. How do we get out? Zhao Yiprofound calmed down. The white light on her face suddenly scattered, revealing a mature and beautiful oval face. Her beautiful face was extremely cold, and when her beautiful eyes looked at Xianxia, there were traces of killing intent. The spiritual energy here is very dense, and I still have some medicinal pills with me. I'm very young, so I want to cultivate here for a while. Xianxia said lightly. Brat, don't play tricks on me. You have to bring us out. Zhao Yiprofound once again pressed his sword against Xianxia's throat. Xianxia said with a cold smile, I'll bring you guys out, then you guys can kill me? Unless you swear that you will not kill me or capture me after you leave this place, I will feel wronged and die together with you here. You! Zhao Yiprofound really wanted to pierce through Xianxia's throat, but her sword was suddenly grabbed by Feng Zipperfound. Feng Zipperfound had to go out and tell Feng Clan about the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword and the Heaven-Earth killing method. Otherwise, Feng Clan would suffer even more losses for these two things. You'd better not kill him. Feng Zipperfound took out a long blade and pointed it at Zhao Yiprofound. All right, I swear. Xianxia cut her off and said, Swear on the blood oath. Using my mouth to swear, I can send 10 every day. Feng Zipperfound was the clearest. He slashed the long blade on his wrist and spat out a mouthful of blood, then controlled the blood to transform into a ray. He recited the oath, and every time he opened his mouth, a red word would come out from his mouth and assimilate into the array. Zhao Yiprofound bit her red lips and did the same. She gave her a blood oath as it was often used on Heaven Realm. Only those with immortal strength could use it. This was what Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu had told Xianxia. Feng Zipperfound and Zhao Yiprofound were extremely powerful in the Heaven Realm, and had always been high and mighty in terms of power. But now they had to obey Xianxia's orders time and time again, which made them very angry, but they had no other choice. After Feng Zipperfound and Zhao Yipperfound finished their blood oath, they revealed a happy smile, causing the two of them to be filled with anger. "Don't play any tricks, or I'll kill you here," Zhao Yipperfound said coldly. The blood oath only said that if they did not kill Xianxia, they would not kill him, but it did not say that they could not kill him inside. Thus Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound were not afraid of Xianxia playing tricks on them. "Okay, now what we need to do is to wait. This Lion Mountain will be moved 10 times. Just now was for the first time. After the 10th time is over, we can go to another Lion Mountain and search for a way out from those Lion Mountain." Actually, he could already go to the other Lion Mountain to look for a way to return, but he planned to get closer to them and see what they looked like from the outside. "What if we go to the other Lion Mountain right now?" Xianxia asked. "Only death awaits you all. Before this, all of you should have seen the Lion Mountain that has turned into Flame Lion. You should all be aware of the terrifying might of that flame. As far as I know of the 100 Lion Mountain inside, only one of them is safe." What Xianxia said was all true. He had destroyed the stone tablet and obtained the knowledge of the ancient words on the tablet. Of course, I can't guarantee we can leave within a short period of time. Right now, I can only guarantee that we can safely walk around here and go to some safer Lion Mountain. As for when we can leave, I'm not sure either. Initially, I had already intended to stay here alone for many years, and only after I have completely grasped the heaven-earth killing method would I be able to leave. Xianxia said. After hearing what he said, Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound's face darkened. They wanted to kill Xianxia in one slash. "Bitch, after we get out, we'll catch this little bastard," Zhao Yipperfound whispered to Xianxia. Xianxia was secretly furious in his heart, and replied, "Yes. Damned bitch, sooner or later I will let you know the consequences of finding out about my Immortal fairy," Xianxia thought. Xianxia sent a sound transmission to Xianxia, informing her of the order he had given her. Xianxia secretly laughed. Letting Xianxia capture him? This was simply too funny. It will only move once every 6 hours. You just have to wait. Xianxia was not anxious at all as he took out the pill furnace and began to refine the pills. Right now, he had to prepare to break through to the top-grade ground level. He had to master the 3rd and even 4th stage of foreseeing alchemy. Now, he was going to practice using a few low-leveled pills. For example, the 9 quenching body dan, he used the 3rd stage of foreseeing alchemy to refine this pill, but he failed again and again. Let's practice with the Shen Beast pills first. I'm almost done eating my snacks. Long Shui called out softly. Little naughty dragon, your storage magic treasure has more snacks than this mountain. Don't think you can deceive me. Xianxia was very clear about Long Shui's habit. There were a lot of abandoned spirit medicines in the Serene Jade Ring, and those medicines' quality was not that high. In the end, all of them entered Long Shui's pocket. Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound stood at the side and watched Xianxia concoct pills. When they had captured Xianxia, they already had a lot of information regarding him, and they also knew that the young Xianxia was able to concoct a few middle-grade ground-level pills. He was a great pill refiner. If such a person were to mature, he might even become a 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Even Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound would want to snatch away the high-grade medicinal ingredients in Xianxia's hands. This pill furnace is no ordinary item. Zhao Yipperfound had been in the heaven realm for many years, and he could tell at a glance that Xianxia's pill furnace was extraordinary. That's right. This is a Yanlong furnace. What? You want to take it away? Chuckled. His consecutive failures in concocting pills made Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound unable to help themselves from suspecting his alchemy level. Xianxia also felt very suspicious. The Yanlong Furnace S. This furnace was very famous in the heaven realm. There was no way Zhao Yipperfound and Feng Zipperfound wouldn't know about it. They were already very surprised. Where did you come from? Zhao Yipperfound took a deep breath. This is Heaven Realm's master refiner. Yanlongzi refined it with the fire dragon blood jade 1,000 years ago. He originally planned to give it to Dan Immortal, but that Dan Immortal suddenly went missing, and in the end that Yanlong furnace landed somewhere else. Xianxia had obtained it from the mortal world. That mortal world was also very mysterious. It had suddenly disappeared before the Great War between three realms even arrived, and his father was still there. However, many people said that nothing would happen to the mortal world, and that they would be able to return after going to a place. From my hometown. Xianxia laughed. It's very possible that I will become a Dan Immortal in the future. Don't you guys want to curry favor with me? Beautiful and talented women like you are always popular wherever you go. But you are only popular. It's not easy to get your hands on high-grade pills. You frog at the bottom of the well. My phone clan has a Dan Immortal. Is there a need to fawn over a mere mortal like you? Feng Zipperfound said in disdain. So what? Your phone clan is so big. Then does that mean that your Dan Immortal will only serve you alone? This is impossible. The pills you get are all trash left behind by those old fellows. However, if you choose to rely on me now, you will be my first subordinates. Xianxia suddenly shook his head. But I will never let you become my subordinates. You can only be my servants. Your ancestors once betrayed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. I do not trust you. This woman can barely be my slave, so just forget it. Just as he finished speaking, he had a blade and sword at his throat. Feng Zipperfound and Zhao Yipperfound were enraged by his words. Ji Meixian also felt a little uncomfortable. Back then, Chunxiang had also said something similar to her, and now she was really Chunxiang's female slave. I was just joking. Don't take it seriously. Chunxiang laughed. He had seen quite a lot of these two people as his slaves. Other than having good aptitudes, there wasn't anything else of note. But Ji Meixian was different. Just concoct pills honestly. If you dare spout nonsense again, I'll cut off your tongue. Zhao Yipperfound's voice was ice-cold and incomparably furious. The little demon in front of her actually wanted to take her in as a female slave to be ravaged by him. Chunxiang obediently continued to refine pills. Now, he knew that the pills in the heaven realm were also lacking. If he was able to concoct the commonly used high-rank pills, many of the old fellows would have to kneel for him. The 10th vibration of the Lion Mountain meant that it was moving forward for the 10th time. Chunxiang put away the pill furnace and became serious, because they were about to leave the Lion Mountain very soon. After the 10th move, would there be a 11th move? Will this Lion Mountain return to its original position? Zhao Yipperfound pulled out his sword and pointed it at Chunxiang. Chunxiang looked at her coldly. If you think it's like that, then continue to stay in this Lion Mountain. Also, if you point your sword at me again for no reason at all, you'll never get out. Chunxiang and the others also felt goosebumps on their skin at this moment. They followed very closely behind, and since they couldn't fly, they could only run down the mountain. Walking down from this Lion Mountain, Chunxiang said in a serious tone, "Walk in a straight line, and head straight towards that Lion Mountain." He pointed at a Lion Mountain in front of them and started sprinting. If you looked carefully, you would be able to see that there were many small and profound spirit grain carved on the bricks. The three of them did not dare to be careless, and followed closely behind Chunxiang. The entire journey was very peaceful, but when they sprinted, they felt their hairs stand on end, because waves of cold wind blew over. The whooshing sound of the wind was like the howls of demons in hell. That kind of bone-piercing coldness made even Zhao Yipperfound feel extremely uncomfortable. There was a Lion Mountain on all four sides of each Lion Mountain, and they were separated by thousands of meters. But now, Chunxiang and the rest felt that they were miles away, and even after running for 2 hours, they were still unable to reach the Lion Mountain on the other side. Don't worry, we're still safe. If we were in danger, we would have died long ago. When he closed his eyes, he could see a golden light on the ground that led to the Lion Mountain opposite him. This meant that this road was safe, and if he walked out of the area other than the golden light, he would fall into another vast space. They turned around and looked at the distance that seemed like it was only 3,000 meters, but they had actually been running for 2 hours. If it was in a normal situation, they could have easily crossed this distance in just a short amount of time. However, the most shocking thing was that the Lion Mountain they stayed in earlier was burning with a light blue flame. Zhao Yipperfound felt chills run down her spine. She had planned to stay in the Lion Mountain and wait for the 11th move before returning to her original position. She now understood that the Lion Mountain inside wasn't simple. What's next? She no longer dared to doubt Chunxiang, and furthermore, She knew that the Lion Mountain she was in wasn't safe. Let's find the stone tablet on this mountain first. That stone tablet is the thing that will guide us to the next Lion Mountain. It can also guide us to the safe Lion Mountain. Xianxia said. If they had not left the Lion Mountain just now, nothing would have happened. As long as he was still up there, then the Lion Mountain would be safe. This Lion Mountain was the same as before. Green trees covered the sky, and the forest was filled with dense spirit energy. There was a sweet smell in the air, and there were many beautiful wild flowers along the way. He found the stone tablet. Just like last time, Xianxia shattered it with a single punch. This stone tablet will appear in a month's time. Now, I have to properly digest the contents of the stone tablet. Xianxia closed his eyes and analyzed the ancient characters.